limit the time used to present your remarks in order that others may be given an opportunity to speak. The normal process on any agenda item is for the chairperson to read an item from the agenda. The board is given an opportunity to comment on the issue and or place a motion on the floor. An opportunity for discussion may be presented, at which time the public may participate, and a roll call vote will follow. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sherry, would you call the roll, please?
Patton,
Here.
Thompson,
Yes.
Walker,
Here.
Well, before we get going, happy anniversary. It's 4 years ago today that our lives were torn apart with the tornado, but everybody came together marvelously after that. We've had a lot of good things come out of it. Hopefully today will end better than it did 4 years ago. First item on our agenda this morning is to approve the agenda. I'll entertain motions on this item, please.
Mr. Chair, I would make a motion to approve the agenda as printed.
And Mr. Chair, I second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as printed. Any comments, questions, or concerns? Roll call vote, please, Sherry.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes,
Walker,
Yes.
motion carries. Item 5 on our agenda this morning is the consent agenda. Approve the minutes of the regular session of July 5th, 2022, and receive the claims list. Approves claims as audited and authorize the county auditor and recorder to issue payment of the same. The listings of claims paid at this meeting and all claims paid in the current month will be published as part of the first meeting the following month. File 2022 salaries and reimbursements. It's our annual publication of salaries and reimbursements. File auditor recorder report dated April 1st through June 2022. A total of $74,429.24 record management fees, $1,743 e-commerce fees, $1,743 general basic, for a total of $74,429.24. File district clerk of court report, June 2022, general supplemental fund surcharge of $338. And that's the end of the consent agenda. I'll entertain motions on this item, please.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve and pay the consent agenda.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any questions, comments, or concerns? There being none, Sherry, roll call vote, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes,
Walker,
Yes.
motion carries. We have some personnel changes on our agenda this morning. Approved personnel changes for secondary roads, status change for Donnie Box III, change from truck driver 2 of $27.41 an hour to truck driver 3 of $27.75 an hour, effective 7/23/2023. Paul, do you have any comments on this?
This change of status is just what the TD2 to TD3 is.
Yep.
Just taking training on a motor grader and qualifying on that.
So he's going to move up to a grader.
He's
just
a
qualified.
truck driver who has operated and been trained on motor grader. So if we need to put him in a seat, in the snow removal operations or something, it makes us a little more flexible.
Perfect. That's wonderful.
Excuse me, there's a typo, it should be 7/23/22.
Yes, it is. We'll note that and change it on our agenda. I'll entertain motions on this item, please.
Mr. Chair, I would make a motion to approve secondary roads employee status change for Donnie Box III. The change from truck driver 2, $27.41 an hour to truck driver 3, $27.75 an hour, effective 7/23/2022.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve this. Any questions, comments, or concerns? There being none, Sherry, roll call vote, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes,
Walker,
Yes.
motion carries. Another change this morning is to approve treasurer's office change of status for Katie Scher from full-time to part-time. No change in the wage rate of $17, effective 7/19/2022. I'll entertain motions on this item, please.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve treasurer's office status change to Katie Share from FT to PT. No change in wage rate, $17 effective 7/19/2022.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve this. Any questions, comments, or concerns? There being none, Sherry, roll call vote, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes.
Motion carries. Finally, item 6C on our agenda this morning is to adopt resolution 2023-0025, appointment of Maria Vargas Gonzalez to the position of Assistant Auditor and Recorder in the Office of Marshall County Auditor Recorder. Whereas due to the retirement of the current Assistant Auditor Recorder in the Office of the County Auditor Recorder, there is a need to appoint a replacement. Whereas the Marshall County Board of Supervisors find this action to be in the best interest of the citizens of Marshall County. Now therefore be it resolved, the Board of Supervisors approve the appointment of Maria Vargas Gonzalez to the position of Assistant Auditor and Recorder in the Office of the County Auditor Recorder effective July 22nd, 2022. This resolution shall be in effect after the approval and signature by the board chairman as required by law. Dan, would you like to speak to this? This is wonderful.
It is. Mary Stubbs will be retiring. Her last day is Friday, this Friday, the 22nd. We're having a little gathering from 2 to 4. So anybody that's worked with her is more than welcome. It's be right here at the election center. And Maria Vargas Gonzalez has started back in 19, working a few hours down in accounting. And it's just been a gradual learning process. She's been through 2 budget cycles and has been full-time down there now since returning from COVID.
It's been
COVID kind of threw a little monkey wrench in all of that.
been a pleasure to work for her. We're going to miss Mary, but at the same time, Maria has been at her tutelage for a period of time and done very well. And these last couple of budgets, it's been very nice having her around.
Mhm,
I think she'll do a wonderful job.
I agree.
Okay. I will entertain motions on this adoption, please.
Mr. Chair, I would make a motion to adopt resolution 2023, approving the appointment of Maria Vargas Gonzalez to the position of Assistant Auditor and Recorder in the Office of the County Auditor Recorder.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to adopt this resolution. Any questions, comments, or concerns? There being none, Sherry, roll call vote, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 7 on our agenda today is to adopt resolution number 2022-0026, approving the assignments of certificates of purchase to the city of Marshalltown, Iowa. These are 3 different addresses, and we work hand in hand with the city of these things. I'll entertain motions on this adoption, please.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to adopt resolution 2022-0026, approving the assignments of certificates of purchase to the city of Marshalltown, Iowa.
I'll second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve this adoption. Any questions, comments, or concerns? There being none, Sherry, roll call vote, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes.
Lawson,
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 8 on our agenda this morning is to approve the certificate of substantial completion for the Annex Interior Project. Dan or Lucas, would you like to speak to this?
Yeah, so this is basically a document that says Henkel is done working at the annex for the remodel portion of it. There are a few small things that we're working on, warranty items, but that's outside of this scope of work. So with us signing this certificate, it starts the warranty period on the items that have been installed, and it's just the way to move forward and kind of wrap up the project.
Okay,
It's exciting.
it's one more step.
Yes.
Okay, I will entertain motions on this item, please.
Mr. Chair, I would make a motion to approve the certificate of substantial completion for the Annex Interior Renovation Project and authorize the chair to sign.
Mr. Chairman, I'd second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the certificate of substantial completion for the interior annex renovation project. Any questions, comments, or concerns? There being none, Sherry, roll call vote, please.
Pat,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Clausen,
Yes.
One more checked off the list. Kind of fitting that that's approved on the anniversary of the tornado. Item number 9 today is to approve the Iowa DOT agreement for county bridge federal aid swap funding. Paul, you want to bring us up to speed on this one for item 9, please?
I think you said 10, or you need Calvin Burns. Was item 9, isn't it?
I've got the DOT agreement for item 9 and a Calhoun Burns for item 10.
Well, anyway, I don't care where we do it.
Okay,
You've got it opposite.
Yeah, on the website. Calhoun Burns is not.
Calhoun Burns is 9.
That's what the website agenda says.
But our written one doesn't say that.
Right, but
Is Calvin Burns on there somewhere?
yes,
Great.
Calhoun Burns.
That's all.
And
That's all
it's
I
the
care.
chairman's prerogative what order we do
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
It's
fine.
not a problem. We're going to call it item number 9.
let's at least just, yeah.
Okay.
As long as we talk about everything.
The federal aid swap funding agreement this is one that we did previously, and it was actually sunsetting on its time that it needed to be completed by, but the other issue was is we've had increased construction costs. The first agreement had a preliminary estimate of 1.3 million, and this one, we've now upped it to 1.7 million, just because of the way materials and costs have increased over the last couple of years. So this is just to get us an updated funding agreement for the F4 project it's a bridge on Jessup, just north of Stanley Mill.
Okay, I will entertain motions on this item, please.
Mr. Chair, I would make a motion then to approve the agreement with Calhoun and Burns for 2023 and 2024 bridge inspections and authorize the chair to sign. Second.
Okay.
Chairman, I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve this agreement. Any comments, questions, or concerns? There being none, Sherry, roll call vote, please.
Pat,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Clausen,
Yes.
Motion carries. And now we'll move on to item number 10, which is to approve the agreement with Calhoun Burns 2023 and 2024 bridge inspections and consider this proposal and authorize the agreement and authorize the chairman to sign. Paul, you want to bring us up to speed on this also, please?
This is just an extension of our bridge inspection program that Calhoun Burns has done our county-wide bridge inspections for I think decades. It's before I
As
was
long
here.
as I can remember.
They do really good work for us, and we just want to continue that process. The agreement gives their lump sum fee, and then there are some other individual per each items that add on to the cost as far as our fracture critical inspections, like every one of our trusses get. So every year we try to knock out a truss or two, and so that cost actually comes down because we don't have to put a structure in that requires fracture critical inspections. So we're getting closer every year, but this will set us up for inspection for 23 and 24.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll entertain motions on this item, please.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to agree to approve agreement with Calhoun and Burns for 2023, for 2024 bridge inspections and authorized chair to sign. We have to move back to 9.
We did 9.
Well, that was my thought. You didn't. You said the same thing I just said, right?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, so we need, instead of talking about Calhoun, we got to go back and do the bridge swap, federal swap.
We did that.
Motion was just said wrong. The motion was right off of the other.
The motion that Steve said was 10.
It's 10.
And that's the one Paul was talking about. We changed the order.
We did
You and I,
change
but
the
theirs
order,
is in a different
but
order.
we did item number 9 and voted on it.
No,
What's 9 for you? That's the DOT bridge inspection.
Right, and now we're on what's number 10?
No, the
for me.
DOT agreement was 9 for that.
Okay.
And ours is
okay,
Kevin
but
Bird.
Steve, what motion did you make?
The one that's marked as number 10 on our sheet.
Okay,
Yeah, so
'cause-
you moved the motion for Calhoun and Burns, and that's what we voted on the first time.
Yes.
the county bridge funding, you made the first motion, you seconded it, and it was voted unanimously, which is what is on you guys' agenda for item number 10. For item number 10, which is what is item number 9 on your agenda, you made the first motion and Bill seconded it, and that is for the bridge inspection.
Okay, and we already passed that one.
We already passed the other one. Now we're doing
No,
the bridge inspection.
no.
Now we're doing the federal aid swapping.
We got to do the swapping because this is the one that we did first. That's the one that Steve moved.
I thought the way I thought it happened, but
No,
Yes,
It was just swapped.
okay, because you did the discussion and then we,
so the way that the website works, I had I got the numbers mixed around on the website, but when I did that Word document for the public and for printing, so I got switched around on the paper version versus what's on the website. So the first item on the supervisor's Word document is number 9, approve IDOT agreement for county bridge federal aid swap funding. Solosic moved, second by Patton. And all 3 of you approved.
and that's what I've got on
Yes,
my
and
written
then
here.
Now we're talking about Calhoun and Burns, the 2023 and 24
Okay.
bridge inspections.
It's my fault then, because I thought we were switching them. And,
That's okay.
Yeah.
okay,
Okay, so according to my records, what I write down, because I write who makes the first motion and the second. When I was on what is on my agenda for item number 10, which was the bridge inspection report, and then Paul gave the discussion on it. And we talked about Calhoun and Burns has done it for as long as we can both remember. You made the first, Bill made the first motion and you made the second motion.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we just need to fix the motion for the second. For the, do you think they're good? Okay,
I make notes as we go. I'm meticulous at that.
well, yeah, but I heard something different, so,
well, that's what I'm not sure. Did Steve move on the right item?
right.
Okay,
I may
that's-
not have been.
I
thought-
don't, I think he read the wrong one just for the motion.
So maybe Steve wants to.
Okay.
redo
Let's just.
why don't we go back and redo this
I'll make a motion on,
for the bridge inspections for Calhoun Burns?
I'll do
That's what
that
he
again.
did.
You bet.
Okay. My records on that one is Bill made the first and Steve made the second.
Can we just redo?
Okay, let's just go back and redo. I'm gonna cross that out. Okay, now for the record, we are under Calhoun Burns 2023-2024 bridge inspection. Consider proposal and authorized agreement. I will entertain motions on this item, please.
I'll do it again.
Okay,
All right, I'll make a motion then to approve the agreement with Calhoun and Burns for 2023 and 2024 bridge inspections and authorize the chair to sign.
I'll second that.
okay. We have a motion and a second to approve the bridge construction. Any further comments, questions, or concerns? Sherry, roll call vote, please.
Patton,
Yes,
Thompson,
Yes.
Solosic,
Yes,
Okay, motion carried. Now, for everybody's comfort, do we want to go back and approve the Iowa DOT agreement for the
Yes.
federal?
we really didn't
PRS.
approve
we
it.
never did.
Okay. Now, we are approving the Iowa DOT agreement for county bridge and federal aid swap. I'll entertain motions on this item, please.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve the Iowa DOT agreement for county bridge federal aid swap funding.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further comments, questions, or concerns? Roll call vote, please.
Patton,
Yes,
Thompson,
Yes,
Solosic.
Yes,
motion carries.
Excuse me, for the record, for the minutes, can I just omit all the.
Yes,
Alcohol, and just
Just
post those as.
do the finals.
Finals, thank you.
You can also put in there that I clicked my heels together 3 times and there's no place like home. Not a problem. Okay, moving on to item number 11 this morning. This was previously tabled. Do we want to leave this tabled or bring this up?
I would like to untable it. I would like to make a motion then to remove. I think we'll do these one at a time. Remove the health court from the table for discussion and possible action.
Okay,
Okay, I'd second that.
we have a motion and a second to untable the mental health court for $229,000. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Roll call vote, please, Sherry.
Patton,
No.
Thompson,
I will go along. You must have a good reason, so I will concur.
Thompson, that's a no.
That's a no.
Schlosser,
Yes.
Okay. We'll leave that tabled. You want to untable the radio
I'd
equipment?
like to untable the radio equipment. then.
Okay,
Okay, I'd second that.
okay, so we have a motion and a second now to untable the radio equipment. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Okay, roll call vote, please, Sherry.
Patton,
No.
Thompson,
I will honor that and go with it no again.
Schlosser,
Oh, yes.
Okay, we will leave both of those items tabled until a further meeting. We're moving on to item number 12, public forum. This is time set aside for the public to make comments on topics of county business other than those listed on this agenda. No action will be taken on any of these topics brought up in public forum.
I might,
Anything for the good of the order?
yes, I'd like to
Yes, sir.
pontificate for a second.
Absolutely.
Okay. At our last 911 commission meeting, there was quite a bit of discussion from the various mayors throughout the county discussing the possible action of coming up with some sort of replacement fund for the radios. The radios cost somewhere around $1,700. If in 8 to 10 years they're dead, they may cost twice that. So they were asking that the supervisors come forth with our budgeting and create this fund, which would be approximately $25 per radio per month for 8 to 10 years. And just to come forth and say they don't have the money, we should do it. We need some figures behind that. And I've been working with Whitney Hunt to get these figures. And so far I've got the figures for the property valuation for each city. I need to move on from there, but I think it needs all those figures before we can sit down and discuss it properly. Otherwise, it's just one person's opinion against someone else's opinion. And we need figures in front of us to talk about this. And so I would like to say this is what I've got in my mind. The commission would like for us to take a look at it, but I don't think we can take a look at it until we have all the figures. And Whitney's helping me get those figures. So give us another meeting or two. I'll have those figures for us, and then we can sit down and discuss this in a logical thing. Whether we want to do it or not, whether it's available for us to do that or not, that will come with that type of work.
Well, this is just under public forum, of course.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
will the commission be coming to us with a proposal then? Is that what you're saying at some point, or?
They're sending me here with that.
They wanted it brought up during public forum then?
No, they actually wanted to have it up here on our regular agenda, but I don't have all those figures.
No.
And I don't think we can discuss this because at this point, until we have those figures.
We can't act on this.
No.
anyways.
No, but otherwise, at our meeting, at our commission meeting, it was just one person's opinion against somebody else's opinion.
Mhm.
And we have to have these figures in writing in front of us so we can tell, okay, there's something here that isn't gonna work. And if it isn't gonna work, then maybe we need to talk about it. But we won't know until I get all that put together.
So you're kind of giving us a 2-minute warning here on this, then it's something that's going to be brought to us down the road.
Yeah, they started out with the TOB looking at this. And the TOB came forth with a recommendation that there needs to be some sort of fund started so that these radios, as expensive as they are, this money can be put together in this fund so that in 8 or 10 years, the money will be there. Now, is that what you guys heard too from the commission?
I think this is more for access fees, Bill, along with that. It kind of went different directions.
Okay.
With the conversation about access fees to the P25, the radio system as a whole, with public safety entities, and that includes public roads. And then the recommendation for the TOB was, and it'll be more to come on, this is just a public forum, not to charge those entities access fees. They went to the commission. The commission had a few hours of discussion with that. And their recommendation was not to charge governmental public safety entities access fees. But obviously, what Chairman what the Supervisor Patton's talking about, this kind of morphed into what do we do about these radios that if they get damaged, destroyed, replacement, and long-term goal was to have those funds available to maintain the P25 system and the radio system along with radio equipment to those departments. So
Now, the $25 that was brought forth, I think John brought that up. $25 per month per radio. Now, is that just access fees?
that's just access fees.
Okay, it got confusing.
The commission had already voted to cover maintenance fees for these radios countywide. So there's maintenance fees and access fees to the system. Maintenance fees are paid to Raycom to maintain that integrity of that equipment. Commission had already agreed to cover those access fees, or those maintenance fees for those radios for public safety. But what we were talking about was the access fees to the system. And currently, it averages about a little over $33 a radio for those access fees. What entities are paying Raycom to access the system?
Is that $33 per radio
Per
per
radio,
year? Per
yes.
year,
Per month, per month, per month.
per month, okay, per radio per month, okay.
It's similar to what's being paid for P25 now. As we pay about that, half of that then comes out of 911 access fees. So about 6 months worth come out of that.
Yes.
And then the rest goes back on the,
You mean the 911 surcharge money?
Correct.
That's where that comes from now.
which is always dropping, we know. So that's not,
There's two things happening there. People they don't have the phones they used to have.
right.
And the
state
state took away, they're taking away 40%. They really wanted to take more away. Anyway, so it's access fees, maintenance fees, okay.
What Supervisor Patton kind of is, if there's going to be a charge to access the system, there has to be a way to get a number. The TOB had thrown out numbers, basically cutting in half what they're currently being charged, or what most radios are being charged. I think like I'm around $33. Unity Point is about 34. There's a couple other agencies at 32. So they're trying to come up with a way to create a fund to cover those replacement and maintenance costs of the radio system, long term. It's not going to last forever, that was where numbers came up, but there's not really a method to come up with those numbers. It was just numbers thrown out. So John Lauer was going to work on an actual hard number, what it cost, how many radios, because we don't even have a total number of radios that are going to be accessing the system. So he's going to be working on that to give Supervisor Patton at least a number of radios and then what it costs to actually access that system.
The discussion got long
It did. A
and,
couple hours.
and confusing.
And there's so many different avenues, saying, like, we were just saying, like, maintenance fees are different than access fees, and what is our maintenance agreement? What does that cover? Where's the gap? So that's why John's gonna gather that information.
Sounds like the commission has a lot more work to do.
A lot, of work, yeah.
Okay.
But I wasn't gonna put this on an agenda. item.
Okay,
It's not to that point yet.
No. Okay.
all right.
I do want to
understand.
let you know that Whitney, it'll probably be at least 2 meetings that she's not available. So if you need to
Yeah,
get the
No,
information,
I'm not gonna bug her.
someone else.
Oh,
I don't think this is. time
Susan is
sensitive.
back
Yeah.
also, so that's,
I think John's
Okay.
working on his. side of
Susan does
things
all the-
too,
Susan
so
does
it's
the
gonna take
budget
Raycom
stuff.
a while to figure out exactly, because it's projected numbers, it's not numbers yet.
Okay,
So I know he was working on that, and then the number of radios, total number out there. How many are first responders, government entities versus private entities wanting to access the system? So what's the difference?
anybody else for the good of the order?
Want to mention in the Times Republican last week, there was an article about the college and talking about the Orpheum and being that the courts would be moving out in October. And that was not correct. It was conveyed that we have the lease through December 23rd, and that's still what it is. So just wanted to mention that under public forum that date was incorrect and the courts are planning to be
yeah, I
there
heard that.
through the end of the calendar year. And
Oh, wow.
we're, our lease goes till then, and then we have some cleaning responsibilities
Right.
to get it transitioned over and any repairs that are necessary. So that gives a little time. I think the closing date for the school system is mid-January. So that gives a little time for everything to kind of get completed then.
Anybody else?
I would like to say something. I'm Boo Mansager. I'm the mayor of Melbourne, and I was at the 911 commission meeting with Supervisor Patton. It was a very long meeting. I think it was 2.5 hours, and there was a tremendous amount of discussion. But there was a recommendation made to the Board of Supervisors to look at this and prepare. We need to prepare something to bring to you. But I was here today because Supervisor Patton asked that people come, and I did not intend to be here by myself or speak, but I would like to make sure that you guys continue to put this forward. It's the access fee is significant for the volunteer fire departments in this county. And there was, even for Melbourne, that probably has one of the more rich volunteer fire departments, $25 per radio per month is a large part of their budget. And there were people, I believe every department was represented at the 911 meeting. And should those access fees go to the departments as opposed to going to the county overall, which all benefits from these radios, there would have to be some consolidation with those departments. Some of those departments simply won't be able to exist with a $25 per person per radio fee per month. And that certainly would impact the services and the safety of people in the county.
Okay, noted.
Chairman Thompson. Brad
Yes.
Font here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I'd like to echo Mayor Mansager's comments. The recommendation from the commission was a unanimous vote with Supervisor Patton abstaining. But all the commission, either mayors or proxies, did unanimously approve to have a recommendation passed on to the Board of Supervisors to at least have as a discussion, if not an action item. In that motion, was to not charge, as the sheriff said, any public service, county public service agencies, any access fees for the system. And then have the Board of Supervisors either by levy or setting money aside, approve a capital improvement fund with a budget set by the commission. Any in the meeting there can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was the motion that was made and approved by the Communications Commission to come before this body. So I'm not sure it's completely accurate to say we're not ready for the board to take action on that, because there were no discussion about exact numbers, but that number to be set at a future date. But definitely to have approval that there would not be access fees, so we can put closure to that part of the equation.
Brad, you understand that I feel we cannot talk about this in a board meeting and an action item until we have all the figures down. That's just the figures for the radios, but that's also the figures in regard to property taxes, value, levies, not only for the various towns, but ours too. This is not just a, hey, you guys go do it. No, that's just an opinion, and we can't do that, Brad, until we get all these things put together so it all makes sense.
Well, I'd much rather be there in person. I had a lot of information on the history of this over the last 3 years, but since it wasn't an agenda item, I didn't know it was going to be discussed. So I'd much rather do it in person. I guess if you want the information, I'm more than happy to share it, but I guess I'd rather see it as an agenda item. So the parties that can speak to it can also be there, because Chairman or Supervisor Patton did request that people from the commission come to the meeting today to discuss it, but not being an agenda item, I chose not to attend.
We can't take any action item on anything that's not on the agenda. Auditor Recorder Benson stated that the individual that's going to be putting some of these figures together is not going to be available for at least 2 meetings. So quite honestly, until I see concrete figures and answers from everybody, I don't think we can do any votes or knowing on this. We can't vote on something without knowing the outcome.
We may be able to get Susan to assist with that, and she's back from vacation.
This is going to be a while.
Yeah, it's at least 1 meeting and more
Yeah.
likely 2.
1 or possibly 2 more meetings, and you guys get together and get all the facts and figures together, and
Who's the next commission?
we'll go from there.
August 7th.
Yeah, it's early enough.
Oh,
Okay.
Which way?
Anybody else for public forum? Paul?
I just wanted to let the board know that after our, discussion, I think it was the last meeting, we talked about the property at 901 East Boone. I'm going to move forward with the city as far as working with Heather Thomas to get the resolution in front of the council to acquire that. It's 2.10 acres that is adjacent to the 901 East Boone property. And just to make sure you guys knew that it still may be a meeting or 2 before we have the resolution and everything that we need to make it official. But I am moving forward with that. The price, and I don't know if I quoted you the price that we were at last meeting.
If I remember right, it was around
6,000.
6,000 an acre.
It is $6,929.26 an acre, which would,
14,551.45.
correct.
How much?
14,551.45.
And there will also be the reimbursement for the survey
plus survey expenses.
that right now is quoted at 3,500 plus review and recording fees. So we don't have the final number on that yet.
Okay.
It's going to be in that ballpark under 20,000.
Okay.
Just some upcoming dates ago I have. First, Rhonda and I were able to attend the National Homeland Security Conference last week. Brought a lot of great information back, so we appreciated that ability to be able to go. The Wall That Heals is coming through Marshalltown. It'll be at IVH on Tuesday, August 2nd in the morning. And then the Sheriff's Office, EMA and CERT, and I don't know if PD's helping on that. We'll be helping transport to go over to Meskwaki, where it'll be there for most of the rest of the week. And then the 30th, the Be Ridiculous Days first responders have been asked. I know Sheriff's Office, PD, a lot of us are doing booths, and so it'll be a nice time for first responders to get out there and interact with the citizens again. And so a lot more events coming up, which is nice to see. So.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've got a couple more. I do have the title sheet for the bridge plans on the project that we approved the funding agreement for. And to keep that in that October letting, I do have some right-of-way documents that we are trying to get through by the end of the month for our project development certification. And we've got two landowners around this bridge that we're currently in negotiations with. And I think one has signed an agreement with us. The other we need to still meet with and deal with some CRP issues.
Okay,
But is there any possibility that we can have a special next week?
absolutely.
Okay.
So you don't miss any deadlines.
It's beneficial for us to keep this in the October letting because the swap funding mechanism that this agreement is on ends with the December letting, and I don't want to roll the dice on getting into the December letting. I'd like to stay on October if we can.
Why don't you wait till you get all your stuff together and then let us know and we can set a special.
Are you
Timing.
Tuesday
I-
at 9? Are you guys all just free? Would look like
Tuesday at 9.
we do 1 week from now.
I can't guarantee that yet with what I got going on today.
Okay.
We have to be later in the afternoon.
And we could go all the way to even Friday as far as still make first of the month. It's just that I can't
Oh,
go
I
off.
If it's gonna be a
I can't go to the
special,
2nd of August. And
Yeah.
make my-
we just need 24-hour notice on it.
Okay.
Not an issue. Okay, anybody else? Going once? Going twice? Okay. On to item 13 on our agenda today is adjournment. The next regular session is August 2nd, 2022 at 9:05 a.m. All business to be acted upon at that session should be submitted to the county auditor and recorder's office or the board of supervisors office by Wednesday, July 22nd, 2022 at 12 p.m. There being no further business to come before the board, this meeting is adjourned at 9:46 a.m. 9:48 a.m. according to